Alright, so we're going to make iced coffee or cold brew coffee. My house likes macchiatos. So when we go to the store that has green and white cups, it tends to be a bit of an expensive ordeal. So I decided I would try and make them. So I did a bit of research and I've discovered that the best ratio is 1 part coffee to 4 parts water. And I actually grind my coffee quite fine because I want a really strong concentrate. So this is fresh ground coffee. We're going to measure out 2 cups of coffee. I have a 1 cup measure here in my bowl. So here's 1 cup. Here's 2 cups. And to that, we'll add 8 cups of water. But I think my bowl can handle 1 more, so I'm going to do 3 cups of coffee. I try and make a fairly good sized batch of it because, like I said, there's 4 of us and we all tend to like things, so we'll make up. It won't last long. So there's 3 cups of coffee. So to that, because it's 4 to 1 ratio, we are going to add 12 cups of water. I'm using filtered water. Something to keep in mind when you're making your coffee is different seasons can produce slightly different results because your water will be slightly different in different seasons. Your coffee will be slightly different because the growing conditions change. So, it's just one of those things that you should kind of keep in mind. So each one of these bottles is 2 cups. So I'm not going to measure anymore after that. So that's 4. This will be 8. $10. And I'll just reach over and grab 1 more bottle. And here will be 12 cups of water to our 3 cups of coffee. So now what we want to do is I'm just going to use something, and you'll find that the coffee will all kind of float on the top. You want to gently move the coffee around. You don't want it spilling out. Gently move the coffee around so that all the coffee grounds are moistened. And then what you want to do is put a lid on it and let it sit. I let mine sit at room temperature. My house is fairly cool. It doesn't seem to bother it, so that's how I do it. but you could put it in the refrigerator if you have room in your refrigerator. But now it sits anywhere from 8 to 24 hours. I leave mine fairly close to 24 hours. So we will come back tomorrow and I will show you how to decanter it so that you can make your yummy coffees. Okay, day 2. And we are going to filter out the coffee. So all I have here is my bowl with my coffee that's sat for 24 hours. I have a jug that I'm going to filter the coffee into. I have a sieve that I've lined with a bit of damp paper towel. You could use a coffee filter, you could use a cheesecloth, you could use whatever you want. I just happen to be using that because then I can throw it away. You'll know your coffee's finished the process when there's no grounds left floating on the top. And all you do is filter it. It's quite sludgy at the bottom, but there's lots of yummy goodness in there. And like I said, this is quite a strong brew that I do, but I'm going for the whole espresso type flavor, so it's quite intense. I'm going to do it this way. If I make a mess, well, that's just real life. Just filter it out. And you'll see in the bottom of my bowl all the coffee grounds. This may take a few minutes, but it's worth it in the end. The grounds, I'm told, you can add to your compost. Makes great compost. I don't compost anymore in the unit that we live in. I don't have gardens quite the same as what I did, so I don't tend to do it as much as I did at one time. Maybe someday the city will change it, but for right now, they don't offer it, so. I'm just going to let that drain. Now the nice thing about a coffee, lining your sieve like this is it does take out all the fine particles that would normally maybe go through. You might find that as it sits in your refrigerator, it could have a bit of a sediment on the bottom. That's fine. Just strain it out again, or you can just not use that last little bit. Just be careful when you're pouring it out. But it's that simple. We now have a jug full of cold brew coffee. So you put a lid on it, put your jug in the refrigerator. It'll last for easily a couple of weeks. Mine never lasts that long, but you can use this in desserts, in cake making, in your cold coffees. You can even drink it hot. Because it's a liquid concentrate, you can actually use hot water. And what's nice about this process is because there's no heat on the coffee, you don't find the acidity as strong in this coffee. And people who normally may not drink coffee will actually drink it and not need a whole bunch of sweetener in it to cover the bitterness. So I have some tummy issues, so this works really, really well for me. But that's how you make cold brew coffee. Have fun.